E ó, galera, voltamos aqui no mesmo lugar. Antes da gente sair, deixa eu falar aqui com a... perguntar aqui pra Ada sobre o robozinho lá em cima.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate. Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear?
Vamos ver que é a Alexa, sabe?
I wish I was your second derivative, so I could investigate your concavities.
Não vou nem comentar nada sobre essa piada.
As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders.
Eu não vou colocar música ali, porque vai tocar uma
May
música
luck be with you.
com
Of
direito
course,
autoral.
as I am sure you are aware,
Ele já
that does
sabe,
not
né?
exist. But it seems to comfort humans to believe they possess good quantities of it.
Vamos lá ver o lance do robozinho. Só precisa de uma peça aqui só para funcionar. Mas aonde está essa peça? Por acaso não tá aqui na nave não, né? É, não tá na nave.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson? I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Ah, aqui eu posso andar com os dois. Então tem mais 5 companions pra gente desbloquear.
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
Deixa eu dar uma olhada aqui no vigário. Usa um bastão, que dá 82. Uma escopeta. A arma dele é bem boa. Ele tem aptidão para ataque corpo a corpo. Então ele tem que ter vida. Distância próximo. Arma. Agressivo. Aqui tá certo. A gente pode roubar dos humanos. Vamos ver o que mais a gente pode colocar. Vou aqui nas armas. Talento. Aqui eu não sei o que eu ponho. Esse daqui. Para durar mais os nossos itens.
That's not the point. This hack would just not.
Marca a nossa quest.
That one of my workers.
Yeah, with a toss ball stick. I heard you the first time.
Ver se tem alguma máquina aqui de venda.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Vender tudo que é lixo. Vender tudo. Beleza. As armas. Tá uma arma aqui que a gente só não quer vender aquela última ali. Opa. Deu uma bugada. Deita aqui também, a gente não vai usar. Tô vendendo tudo porque certamente a gente vai pegar bastante coisa aqui. Vamos ver o que tem pra comprar. Olha, 17. Eu acho que é o mesmo que a gente tá usando. Beleza.
Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with? The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly. Be seeing you.
Beleza. A gente chegou aqui já. Prenderam nossa espaçonave, que a gente ficou 8, 9 episódios tentando arrumar ela.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You're hearing things.
Can we talk?
Deixa eu ver qual que é a missão aqui que tá pra gente. Olha. Tem uma cidade dentro da nave.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards. Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
You'd think the board in its age...
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped? Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he? Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me, how did he die? No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Devoured by those fiends. Becoming one with their droppings. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further harm. That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with?
Beleza. Um assunto a menos.
I know she's in there and through.
That's a bit deader than usual around here. Chief wants to reduce board traffic.
If it's between the Unreliable and the Rest and Go, I believe I'll sleep on the ship.
Se não tá vermelho, a gente pode pegar, hein?
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. and they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in.
Bem carinho.
Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you.
E beleza. Vamos ver as outras missões. Vamos entregar as quests que já tiver perto. A gente não tem que ficar problema de ficar correndo atrás depois.
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sub-level.
I could spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff. It's all pretty worn, though.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. Good for you. Hope you scared some sense into those bureaucrats giving you trouble. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting. At ease. Nice to see an outsider with some working brain cells. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if, well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Wow, great! I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. My engineers have managed to keep the heat to livable levels, but all the fixes are temporary. This wound is bound to fester. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. They want us to sweat, thinking that'll soften me up for a bad faith deal. If you'll excuse me, they can go fuck themselves. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone on board, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Hold on. There's something you should know before you go charging off. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs.
Captain, could I have a moment of your
Vamos
time?
ajudar ela, né? Só porque ela foi legal. Então, acho que esse episódio a gente pode terminar por aqui. E no próximo a gente vai tentar aqui ajudar a capitã aqui. Beleza? Então, valeu, falou e aquele abraço.